I guarantee you the philosophy is going to become we've got to restore order by any means necessary. And I know that philosophy in policing. I know that you don't want the appearance of becoming more violent, especially when you have so many juveniles involved. But at some point, you're going to use whatever force you need to restore order. So these parents need to go out and intervene. Any individual in the faith community need to go out and intervene. There's a lot of people that are familiar with this particular area in the CVS, and there's a lot of good community groups and organizations and people in that Pennsylvania area corridor because they're trying to revive that particular area who probably can go out and intervene in these situations. And I doubt if these young people will attack them.
Well, and I think about the fact that I know there's a sizable elderly presence around there that likely uses that CVS now. There are a number of people who probably likely are not going to be able to get medication and things that they would normally get from that particular business because of this looting and violence.
So there's a vested interest with the Baltimore City Police Department tweet for parents to become involved. And again, I hope not only this go out now, as you mentioned, Jennifer, but what if we send this out this morning, or what if we send this out tomorrow morning? And we're going to have to do this because, again, young people are going to you see an explosion there, the same vehicle, but it has a gas tank, so you can't even get close to it with police help or with firefighters until it takes its natural course of making sure that all the gasoline is gone and exploded out of the vehicle. There's nothing to save now. But we're going to have a more strategic approach to this particular process. And we don't know what the report is going to say on Friday. We don't know how that's going to be handled. And without a report, with young people engaged, watching other young people from Saturday, because I guarantee you that some of these young people engaged in this situation today were not at the protest Saturday, or were not downtown, or were not in the Western District. They're at Douglas High School. They were not over at the Western Police Precinct involved in that. It is growing. There's a growing momentum, and unless someone intervenes both psychologically and probably, as we see later tonight, physically, this can only escalate.
Is this continuing to be live footage that we're seeing right there? I just want to make sure it is live. So you see people surrounding a police car once again this afternoon, and this is a scene we've seen a couple of times today, but a group now jumping on top of that police car there on, is that North Avenue? Around North in Pennsylvania. So when you talk about bringing in the National Guard, that conversation we would presume is at least happening. Maybe a decision hasn't been made, but do you believe that conversation's happening?
I don't, it would surprise me if it's not happening, especially even if you brought them in on a limited basis for these particular hot areas before it spread throughout the city. And again, with a lot of these young people, police presence, National Guard presence will dispel them in another direction. You can't have a police vehicle in the midst out there by itself anywhere right now because it's going to be surrounded. There's strength in numbers, and clearly the young people disperse when they see the numbers moving towards them. So the strategy has to be different. And I suspect to an extent the police department, given Commissioner Batt's credit, talked about strategy over the last couple of days, but having a conversation and implementation are two different things. And we're looking at the result when things are not expeditiously put in place and managed and